Hi there. It's my privilege to introduce a new series we're doing on the fruit of the Spirit. During the next 9 weeks, we will be looking at different aspects of the fruit of the Spirit, and you'll be able to work those through in your life and perhaps in the life group. But just to introduce you to it, I'm going to read where we find the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5. And I'm going to read this. But when the Holy Spirit controls our lives, He will produce this kind of fruit in us: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Here, there is no conflict with the law. Now, just as an introduction, I want to just tell you 3 things about this magnificent fruit that we get from the Holy Spirit. First is this: the fruit of the Holy Spirit overcomes the flesh. In Galatians 5 it says, if we live by the Spirit, we will not fulfill the deeds of the flesh. It doesn't say if you strive to overcome the flesh, then you'll have the life of the Spirit. It says this: if you develop the fruit of the Spirit, it will overcome all the deeds of the flesh. This is a beautiful thing, and it's a great incentive, isn't it, to develop the fruit of the Spirit in your life. The second thing is this: the fruit of the Spirit is supernatural. It's not a natural quality. In fact, it is drawing on the very nature of Jesus within you. Now, it can be lots of people, even non-Christians, can be kind, loving, patient. They're all exercising their natural qualities. But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about fruit that is generated by the Spirit that gives Jesus' nature to us. God isn't asking us to be nicer people. He's asking us to be more like Jesus. There is a beautiful illustration of this in Ezekiel. If you look in Ezekiel 47, there's a picture of a river that flows right from the altar. It's a picture, of course, of the Holy Spirit flowing out from what Christ has achieved for us on the cross. But the qualities of this river are fantastic. That wherever the river goes, there's life. In fact, it turns bitter water fresh. But there's one aspect of this river that is wonderful and really relevant to us here. Either side of the river, there's fruit trees. And the fruit trees bear fruit every month. Now, I've never found a fruit tree that bears fruit every month. What it's saying is that when we put our roots into the Holy Spirit and trust His work in us, we will bear fruit whatever the circumstances. It's just to have the patience, our natural patience. We can all have natural patience if we're lying on a beach in the Bahamas. But it's when we're in a traffic jam and we've missed our appointment for 30 minutes. And that's when we draw on the supernatural fruit that God gives us. It's a wonderful thing, and I want us to remember that the fruit that the Holy Spirit gives us is supernatural and will be available to us whatever season we're in, whatever circumstances we are in. His fruit is available to us. And the third thing is this fruit is accessed by faith alone. Now, God has this unique way of helping us to develop the fruit of the Spirit in our lives. And He does it like this. Sometimes He allows situations and circumstances to come into our lives that exhaust our natural abilities. It's a bit like Jesus when He turned the water into wine, which is His first miracle, of course. In my opinion, Jesus made the best wine that was ever made because it was supernatural. But He only did that miracle when the natural wine ran out. That's when He produced the miraculous wine. And he does that in our lives. Sometimes he puts us in situations, and you might be going through situations right now, where your natural abilities have been exhausted. It may be you're in a situation which has caused you a lot of sorrow and pain, and you think, I can't have joy. And God says, no, I know, but I can give you supernatural joy, whatever your circumstances. I want to finish just by telling you a situation, or situations that I've encountered quite a few times in my life. From time to time, God has brought me into situations with people that I find it difficult to love, either through circumstances or because they themselves are unlovely people. I've come to the place where I said to God, I can't love these people. And God has said to me, no, you can't love them. But if you take a step of faith, and do an act of kindness or speak to them in a certain way, I will release that supernatural fruit to you. And this is the truth. This has happened a number of times. One particular time, I know I went to this person and I did something. I just did an act of love and kindness, and something happened. Suddenly, whereas before I had no love towards them, the moment I took that act, God released a supernatural flow of his love. And it touched that person and changed our relationship completely. That's what I want to say to you. Be ready to take a step of faith, and God will release this beautiful fruit to you. So I finish by saying this. It's going to be an exciting 9 weeks. And I just want to encourage you with these 3 things. Know this, that when you develop the fruit of the Spirit, it will overcome all the deeds of the flesh. That is true. Secondly, it's a supernatural fruit. It's straight from the character and the nature of Jesus, imparted to us by the Holy Spirit. And thirdly, God will allow circumstances into your life where if you take a step of faith, it will release the beautiful nature of Jesus in you. And it will result in this. You will become more like Jesus. And that's what we all want, don't we? Have a great 9 weeks as you pursue this beautiful subject. Thank you for listening.